This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
This episode is brought to you by the new B&B AI service called Derek Save Me. When faced with a life and death situation, simply say, Derek, how do I explain to my friends that I forgot my sleeping pad? AI Derek will give you a plausible story for you to pass along that simply shifts the blame to somebody else. Check it out at Derek Save Me, if you can, .unlikely.
Hello, B&B family. This is Derek, and with me today is the only man who will clean his ears on trail using random dead bird feet and beaks, Carl Mandrioli. It's disgusting, but it works. It works.
That is disgusting. Welcome to the Backpacking Adventures podcast, brought to you by Enlighten Equipment. Check out their ultralight, super warm tour jacket for your next trip at enlightenequipment.com. With me today is Derek Somerville. He's a man that wants to put the fun back in funeral.
Wow. That was decent. That was actually decent.
Because we're talking about some...
Because death, we're talking about death. Yeah, it's all related. It's all related. Can funerals be fun? Maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
Celebration life? The word celebration.
I think that's a Western thing, right? Like we've created that.
Yeah.
Right?
I've started to go to more funerals over the last few years, and and no two of them are even close to the same.
No.
It's crazy.
No. Yeah.
Like
good start.
Crazy.
Good start. Yeah.
Yeah. We got life or death situations that you will encounter. If you go backpacking long enough, you're in the outdoors, you're adventuring long enough, you're going to encounter these one way or another. Do you agree?
Correct.
Okay.
I got some goes. I think you should start us off today, though.
Okay. I'll start us off.
Yeah.
But first we get Bible verse of the episode, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Derek, are you afraid of death?
Do I have plans for the future? Yes. Am I afraid of death? Death comes for us all, just trying to give Father Time a run for his money.
Dude, Mother Nature last episode, now Father Time. These are fictional people.
You gotta mix them in. Next episode, it'll be the Tooth Fairy. Like, you never know what I'm going to throw at you. Am I afraid of it? I don't think I'm afraid of it. I think there's a couple ways I don't want to go out.
Just a couple.
Just a couple, honestly. So if it's like if I can be like cancer or like Alzheimer's, I feel like I've won.
Wow, that's Alzheimer's is horrific.
That's my mentality. What about you? Are you afraid of death? Are you afraid of the big hammer? What are you afraid of?
No, and honestly, when I think of death, I think of like something wonky happening in the outdoors. Like we're hiking along the trail and like a boulder gets pried loose somehow from the hillside above and just takes me out. I mean, that's kind of
honestly, that's kind of a cool way to go.
I mean, I've had a boulder come tumbling down towards me. I also had a tree fall over, like feet from me, just come tumbling across the trail. I don't know if the tree would have been like severely injured. I don't know if I would have died though.
Yeah, if you get hit by something big, you just take me out. Otherwise, you're going to be crippled for life or something. I almost had a glacier fall on me.
An entire glacier.
Yeah.
Not the calving part of it, just the entire glacier.
Well, okay, calving. I sit corrected. No, we were kayaking in Antarctica, and the glacier just sounds like thunder just broke off. Right.
Was it a glacier or was it an iceberg?
It was part of the main land. It wasn't just an iceberg.
Oh,
so I don't, it was pretty intense, dude.
Okay.
Paddled for my life in the kayak.
Do you know what the difference is between a glacier and iceberg?
Probably not. Just like you don't know the difference between clouds, as we discussed in a previous episode. So I think that there's always something to learn, and that'll keep us sharp and away from Alzheimer's. So it's good.
Okay. Well, I think we're about to save some people's lives with
For
these
sure
scenarios
we
we've
are.
encountered,
For sure
and
we
are going to. So pay attention, folks, because
Write all this down. Yeah.
We survived all of these, all of them.
Man.
Yeah.
And you've almost died how many times personally?
I mean, almost is like a flexible word, right? Like,
Like a couple, at least 2, right?
Yeah. Probably more than that, if I'm being honest. Probably get closer than you think sometimes.
Okay, that's
There's times when you've survived and you don't even realize it. There could be a mountain lion
That's
just
true.
like perched in a tree. The mountain lion's like, not today. I'll let this guy pass, right?
Yeah, and then you took off your backpack and took a break, and the lion's like, you know what? Not worth it.
Yeah.
This guy's got weak shoulders, so I'm moving on. So that's probably true. I didn't think about that.
Anyway, you want me to go first in this one?
All right, go ahead. What's your first one?
All right, so this one, I'm going to start off where this has happened to me multiple times, including just in the last week, actually.
Oh.
The first time it happened, it involved you, where
Okay.
I think, it'd be easy for me to lay the blame on you, so I just will.
Of course.
This is your
Big surprise.
But there's other parts of the scenario. So, okay, here's what's going on. So if you're going high in the mountains, especially in the Rocky Mountains where they have these afternoon thunderstorms, lightning storms, they happen like early afternoon. You can kind of time them, and you don't obviously want to be on high mountain passes or mountain peaks as these things are rolling in, right? So if you're on the climb up, and you see the thunderclouds rolling in, and you're like, we gotta get up and over this pass. But you're with somebody who is struggling along at a snail's pace, such as Derek. What do you do, Derek? Like, how do you handle that? The lightning is coming, and you're like, dude, hurry up. But we're high elevation. You weren't very fit that year. Like, what do we do with that?
What year are you talking about? What are you talking
This is
about?
Maroon Bells. This is a few years ago. Maroon Bells in Colorado.
Oh, you're talking about that lightning storm that I was right behind you? Is that what you're talking about?
You're right behind me because I'm waiting for you.
No, you weren't waiting for me.
Waiting for you forever.
We were waiting for. There was like 3 people who went. No, I'm not going to get into this story.
Okay, there's more people. You're right. I'm just blaming you because you're here.
You're creating a fictional realm. That's fine. I wasn't slow at all. I felt like I thought I was cruising that one.
You did good. You did good for having come in from California, but not good for. There's a lightning storm coming. So
I was slowing down for the person in front of me who I'm going to be talking about today, because they were like, "I can't go anymore. I quit. It's too cold." No, it wasn't. I just thought it would be you, but no, it wasn't.
A big time quitter.
And I was behind them most of the time. What do? I get off the mountain, dude. I'm just going to keep trucking. I think,
so you abandon your friend and just get up and over the pass.
what did we do? We went and hid under some, like a big old,
No, we didn't. No, what we did was not the right approach.
no, we did not do the
But
right
I'm
approach.
wondering what we should do. Like, what should we do about this?
Do you go to the opposite direction of the clouds moving? What do we do?
Okay, here. I'm gonna narrow
What
down.
are you trying to get at? This is your baby.
You get 3 options. You can hustle ahead, leave your friend, be like, dude, if you want to get over this pass, like come on, let's go.
Yeah.
You can do that. You can try to help them go faster by trying to ask them to give you some of their weight, or even push them from behind if you really want to get aggressive. Or you can say, look, you're not going to make it. We're not making this in time. Let's hunker down right here while we're below the pass and wait possibly a couple hours for this storm to pass. What do you like about that?
What do I like about that? I mean, I kind of like pulling them aside and be like, look, dude, like have that real talk. Like, we got to get off this mountain. We could get hit by lightning. It's going to be down. It's going to be freezing. It's going to get worse. We got to try to get out of here and go get some cover somewhere off this top of this mountain. Right. I think that's what I would do, and try to like motivate, really. And then be like, I'm going to take some of your gear. Like, get over yourself. I'm going to take some of your gear.
Right.
Let's go.
So you're not even a question. You're just like demand.
I think if they're really struggling, like the person, I'm thinking of one person on that trip specifically, then I would have been like,
You
let
were
me just.
struggling, dude. Stop passing the buck. You were struggling. It's
I
okay.
wasn't struggling right there. What are you talking about? I mean,
It's okay that you were struggling. You came from
wasn't
sea level and we're going up over 12,000 feet. So it's okay to be struggling.
I wasn't struggling at that point. I was
I have
struggling
video footage of you saying that you're struggling. I have that on that exact pass in that scenario.
during the rainstorm.
What?
During the rainstorm?
No, as the clouds are rolling in. We're climbing the pass, and you're like, I'm hurting a little bit here and here, and blah, blah, blah. I got that video footage.
That's for the camera. It's for the
Oh, okay.
camera.
Sure it is.
You know, I mean, come on. There was one pass where it was challenging, but I don't think it was raining. Yeah, I think I would just try to motivate and keep going.
Okay, so motivate and grab
Yeah.
gear is what you're saying. All right. I think The safest thing to do, the safest option is to hunker down.
Where?
So if you want to play it safe, that's what you do. It's very frustrating to do that because you got to sit there for a couple hours, and if you're already above tree line, you're pretty exposed. So you could get, I don't know, your muscles are going to tighten up. It's just not a very.
Do you remember what we did? We didn't. I don't think we did.
We did nothing. We just slowly plodded towards the pass and thanked the Lord that the lightning didn't hit us.
I thought we made the dumb choice of like hunkering in a group of trees for a while and waiting for the rain to stop.
Okay. That might be in a different scenario. I'm talking about the very first pass. That was the one that I was most concerned about. But
oh, you're talking about
anyway,
that.
This happened again within the last week where we were approaching a pass, and I think I'm too.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
I know I can come across as aggressive on the podcast, but in reality, I'm not the guy that demands like, give me your gear.
He is. No, he is.
So I asked, and the guy said no.
No, okay. We're thinking of two different trips because that trip, yes, was challenging. I'm thinking of your magic show trip. It was right after the magic show.
Yeah, we're not in a mountain pass at that point, but
I know we had the sword. It was lightning. It was thunder.
Yeah. What were you saying about Alzheimer's again?
I wasn't saying. What are we talking about? Were we? Wait. Wait a minute. Were we talking about Alzheimer's? Like, what do you? I don't remember that. What are you talking about?
All right, so there you go. I don't know that we solved that one, but
hunker down. Where are you going to hunker
down? The
down?
Safest option, especially if you can't motivate and they are not willing to give you your gear. Just be like, all right, then go lay in the bushes or lay next to that rock right there.
Get out of the wetness. All right, mine was okay. We'll start with a good one.
They're all good.
They're all good, but. We had a situation where one of our mates showed up to the trip, told us day one at the start of the trip, he's like, I think what I decided to do for this trip, I'm going to attempt to fast the entire trip. And we all kind of were just like, oh. So now it's like, well, okay, like good luck with that, number one. Not only was he like, I'm going to fast the entire trip, he also decided this one particular year to bring a metal horseshoe set in his backpack. So he didn't have any food with him, and he decided to bring horseshoes. And we had a lot of uphill, if I remember correctly. What do you remember happening there? Do you remember what happened there? How long did he last? Do you remember how long he lasted?
Well, first of all, I got two questions for you. Is this a life and death situation? And two, is this applicable to everybody else out there because they are going to encounter a situation like this?
I think it is a life and death situation because he ended up taking not a majority, but like a lot of food from the other people.
The majority of it.
I mean, really
hoarding food from everybody.
Like he had no dinner the whole trip. He didn't have anything. Right? So we're like giving him snacks. We're giving him dinners. We're sharing this. Have my leftovers.
Life or death. Well, you tough it out.
Dude, if you had what if we were going on like a week-long trip and he did that?
Yeah, I don't know if he would do that on a week-long trip. But
you know what I'm saying? Like it compounds the issue.
Okay, I'll say that it's putting somebody at risk, okay? For sure.
It is.
Second question was, is this something that people are going to encounter? Are they going to have an issue like this, do you think?
You open the can of worms, dude.
Let's go back to the title. Title is 8 life or death situations you will encounter, you being the collective you.
This is a great one. Who decides to fast on a trip and then he's taking everybody's food?
Okay, let's talk about it because you're not prepared and so we can talk about it. But I don't think this is applicable. Is your question, how should we have handled this?
You're incredible. I'm just going to say that.
Dude, I'm sorry that you can't analyze the title of the episode.
How does this not affect other people to a degree? What if it's the same trip that you and I are like, hey, I'm going to try to like micromanage my food and make it like just the exact amount so I have 0 by the end of the day. And then he shows up and does this.
But my point is that like other folks are listening and they've got their own crews or they're going to be going with new people in the future. And suddenly they're like, oh, we went also with somebody who decided to fast for the whole trip. That's weird. Good thing I listened to that podcast. It could help me through this situation.
Okay, fine. You want a different one? Fine. You know what? Scratch the whole thing. I'll just give you a different
I want to
one.
talk about it because it's too late. You're
No,
already
I'll
down
give
the
you
road.
You know? Not good enough for you?
No, it's not good enough. But
What
we're going to finish this one because we've already talked about it. So what do you do? I'm going to try to make it applicable because it's a scenario where basically somebody's showing up to the trailhead intentionally unprepared. So they've chosen not to be prepared. Would you agree?
Right.
Okay. So what I would do now is if they communicate that to me, I'd be like, oh, okay. Well, you know what we're going to do is we're going to put a pause on this trip. We're going to drive to the closest grocery store and we are going to get you prepared. This is going to annoy everybody in the group because we're now going to add an hour or two waiting for you to be prepared. But clearly, we put on the gear list what you should have. You chose not to have that, and that's not going to cut it for this trip. That's what I do.
Why didn't we choose to do that? Is my question.
I don't even know if I have the self-confidence to do that now. Definitely didn't have that then.
Because there was a similar trip where he's like, I'm only going to do dessert. Dessert only.
This is years later he made this decision.
Yeah, again.
That was an easier trip, so I wasn't as concerned about that one.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was like he still borrowed everybody's food, and then we were near a town that we should have just made him get food in.
Yeah, I don't know. At that point, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I didn't have the capacity. But anyway, so if somebody intentionally just shows up unprepared and you want to be the tough leader, I think that's the way you got to go. And then hopefully either that person doesn't come again or they learn their lesson and then they're more prepared the next time. But I was if this guy ever came on our trip again, I was very prepared to do that and actually do like a gear check at the trailhead because of all of the blunders he's had. So
you kind of have to babysit. Yeah.
A little bit.
It's sad.
A little bit. Okay.
It's sad.
All right.
Okay, what do you got?
We just talked about somebody who's intentionally not bringing something, but let's go with somebody who legitimately forgot or lost a critical item. So this might seem weird, but we've had multiple people on our trips not bring sleeping bags over the years, like different guys not bring sleeping bags. Derek himself forgot his sleeping pad on one of the trips, as we've chronicled many times.
Not true. Not true. Yeah, not true.
What?
What? No, you're trying to trap me again.
Okay.
Not true. Nobody forgot the sleeping pad. Did you forget your pillow?
Yeah, but I wouldn't count that as a critical item, right? Would you?
I mean, it's a pillow, dude.
Correct.
Like, what do you know?
Yeah, you can survive without a pillow, but if you don't have a sleeping bag and it gets really cold, you don't have a sleeping pad, which is your insulator, it gets really cold. Like that's life or death.
Guys, if you knew the snoring that I had to endure because of his non-pillow situation, it's more critical than you think.
This
anyway, go
ties
ahead.
Back to the ad we had at the beginning about casting blame.
You were making up fake facts about my sleeping
Here's
bag.
another scenario that this happened to me where I had pre-packed a vehicle and then one of my children took gear out of the vehicle on their own, unbeknownst to me, so that when we showed up at the trailhead, I was like, oh, hey, I'm missing a whole bag full of stuff. So thankfully, I found that at the trailhead. But yeah, so weird. All I'm trying to say is like there's lots of scenarios where somebody could be missing a critical item. How do you handle it on the spot? You're in the backcountry. Somebody's missing something. It's life or death, Derek. What do you do?
I mean, you're gonna have to share gear. You're gonna have to share. I mean, and it puts everybody else at a disadvantage, right? I mean, that's what did you end up doing?
Well, I mean, there's different scenarios here, so I can talk about what the guy did with the sleeping pad.
The guy did with the sleeping pad, or are we talking about the gear that you forgot in your car, or got removed from your car?
The guy that left the sleeping pad at home, he created his own sleeping pad, which had
You can just say it was me, dude. Just say it was me.
Oh, I know. Okay, if you want to take credit, it's fine.
Dude, I love how we're talking. 1 second, do you have dementia? Like 1 second, we're talking about taking gear out of your car. Like, what would you do? And then you're like, I'm like, yeah, I think you'd share gear. And you're like, yeah.
Oh, we're talking about the whole general
what
scenario.
About the pad? What about the sleeping pad guy? Me. You're talking about me.
We're talking about the overall scenario. Is you're in the backcountry and you're missing somebody's missing a critical item. That was the question I posed at you, and you just want to focus on gear out of the car.
I think depending on what that is, there is a way to overcome. Like I created a softer ground to lay on. Okay. I think if it's an actual sleeping bag, right? Like if it was a sleeping bag, again, like I would probably just be like, dude, I'll just unzip my whole sleeping bag. We'll just use it as a quilt.
Okay, there you go.
And we'll do that. Okay. I'll now.
You would do that for me.
If you had no sleeping bag, yeah, I would do that.
Really?
For sure.
And you would never bring that up again, probably.
Oh, no, I bring it up all the time, for sure. Okay. As would you. As would you. And you still do. But I think, again, like if you forget gear, you're going to have to end up sharing it in some capacity, right? Okay. You got to borrow. You got to like.
Which is nice if you're going with a group, but if you're going solo and you're back there.
That's a problem.
Would you be willing to ask somebody who's a stranger to share their sleeping bag?
No, I don't think I could do that. That'd be so weird. I think I go survivor, man.
Because a lot of folks go solo. So what do you do in that situation? You're without a critical item for whatever reason, and you're in the backcountry. Obviously, you're not going to share with a stranger. So what do you do?
Looks like you're hiking back to the car, night one.
Okay. And, if you're far, if you put in a ton of miles, I don't know if that's a realistic.
And you didn't realize you forgot a sleeping bag?
Yeah, because you're not going to figure it out till you show up at camp. Maybe like your kid yanked it out of your, like they're making a blanket fort. They yanked it out of your backpack. You don't know.
Well, if it's anything like some of these guys in the summertime, if it's a summer trip, then you can always like cowboy camp like a lot of these guys will do with their
Cowboy
lean
camp
on.
involves a sleeping bag. It's
Well, not all of them. Some people sleep on like their little tarps and stuff, Okay. But if you forget a sleeping bag and you have nobody around, are you just going to create some kind of warm environment with like, do you have an emergency blanket? Do you have, I don't know. Are you can just create, just get a bunch of weeds and bushes and create a little nest.
There you go. Create some insulation.
On the ground for sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
You can build a campfire if it's allowable there. If it's life or death, you just build a campfire.
Obviously dress in all your jackets and warm clothes and whatnot. But it's going to be...
One thing that I saw in the survival shows, I don't know if you'd like this one or not, is they build the campfire and then they take the rocks from the campfire once the campfire's died down.
Oh.
They bury them below where they're sleeping so the ground is really warm. What do you think about that one?
I think that takes a lot of work. That's what I think.
It does.
It takes a lot of work. How'd they move the rocks?
Probably sticks and stuff.
Sticks to move hot rocks underground?
Yeah, you don't think you can move a rock with a stick?
Don't question me. I'm just asking you how they did it. Don't get sassy.
You can work on that skill next time we go out if you want to.
Okay.
All right, next one, what you got?
Are you hungry? I think
you're like, how do you move a rock? How can you move a rock?
How can
the
you
size
move
of a
a
rock
rock?
is in a fire pit, not a boulder. How can you move one of those hot rocks?
I know how I think I would do it. I'm curious how they did it with a hot rock. That's all. That's all I wanted to know.
They don't show
this isn't a how-to. Would I think I can figure it out. We've talked about this before in the past, but like people love going in the water. People love swimming.
Okay.
Some people like to swim above waterfalls in the pools above waterfalls. And correct. I don't get it. I think that they just think that it's not like going to happen, or that they're going to get sucked over. I think that they think like, I don't have to worry about it. It's not a big deal. Right. We're in a safe pool area. That doesn't, like, the water's not going over to the edge, but yet it is. It's like, so I guess that to me is just like, and like, what do you do with that if you're like on a group and you have like 3 guys jump in the water and they're clueless and you're like, guys, I think, what are you just going to go like mom mode? Like, what do you do? It's life or death. So do you just like kind of nag it because you don't want to lose your friend, or like, what do you do?
Okay. So there's a couple different scenarios here with this. I like this one. So because this happens a lot where the friends you're going with are going to get you in trouble. Right. So now, so you could, definitely, I don't know if it's a really aggressive river. The one that I'm thinking of is in Yosemite, Vernal Falls, where I've seen people multiple times, and that's my group. I would probably just yell at them like, "Hey, get out!" Like, I'd probably be pretty upset, to be honest. But now, if we're talking like, okay, they're getting caught in the current, and it looks like they're heading the wrong direction. How far do you risk your own life to save them? Because it's very easy for you to get kind of sucked over as well.
I think it's the same thing as the hot rocks, moving them with a stick. I think you just grab a big stick.
Okay.
Stick it in there and pull them out.
Just that easy.
I don't know. I mean, you honestly though, like you gotta like, if they're caught in the current, then you gotta grab something and get them out. Right. But honestly, I think you're right. I think you need to like be firm about that one. Cause it's like, if they're clueless and they don't get it, you gotta kind of like paint the picture,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So solved. Nice.
Solved. So boom. All right, next one I got is if you go backpacking long enough and you go to a variety of places, at some point, something's going to get your food. It could be a camp. It could be a bear. You might even be prepared. You might have even brought a bear canister, and the bear like starts rolling the canister around, and then when you wake up, you're like, where did that canister go? That's happened before, so now you've lost your food. The bear never actually ate it. It could be a critter. Even when you're just taking a break in like a popular spot, like critters can break into your pack and take your food. It could be a fox that's yanking your pack out from the vestibule of your tent and eating through your sunscreen. Has that happened to you, Derek?
It has, Carl. That's so crazy that you brought that random story up out of nowhere.
You know what nobody brought up, which I was surprised by, is because we talked about how where we were camping on Catalina has bear boxes. So all you had to do was just stick either your pack or the sunscreen in the bear box, which was a few feet away. You're like, I don't think so.
I was like, am I really going to worry about a bear here? Like, you don't think about it.
Probably not a bear.
Is the buffalo going to come out of his little area and get my... No, but the foxes, man, those little creepers.
They got you.
They have little creepers, man. Okay.
Anyway, so at some point now, if you're within a day's hike of the trailhead, you can tough it out. This is kind of similar to the fasting thing, but imagine, and this has happened to me, where whatever whatever food gets taken or lost by the animal is all the food or most of the food that you have. So, and that could be just you as a soloist or the collective you as part of a group. So now you're days from the trailhead. How do you handle that?
I mean, good thing there's berries on a lot of these trails, you know? Start eating those berries. What are we doing?
That'll suffice, you think, is just like...
Some snacks. We've done that many times on the trail. Just have some berries.
Yeah, but not as our main source of sustenance.
Do you go hunt the animal down and try to get your food back?
Probably. Like ask him where he like moved the bear canister.
You just go tracker mode like Last of the Mohicans or something and just track this thing down into the cave and demand it back? Could you nag a bear to get your food back?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah?
I think...
Shine a light in his face or something?
Yeah, a lot of lights in the eyeballs and a lot of...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Motioning. A lot of hand motions. Like, I want my food.
A lot of hand motions. And bring a stick.
Yeah.
You know, all these scenarios require a stick, I think, in some capacity.
Maybe like make a deal. Like if you go over the waterfall, you'll save the bear too while you're at it.
Yeah, or you know, grab my stick and we'll go together. I don't know, you know.
Okay.
So, what if they steal your food? You have no food and you're by yourself.
Your day, or they've taken the food from your group, which happened to me one time where like most of the food was taken from our group, so our group was limited.
I mean, what other choice do you have than to like ration your other food out? I mean,
there's another choice.
I mean, it stinks for everybody, but like, am I going to let you go starve because a bear took your food? Because I think I'd be more annoyed if it was like, Carl, why didn't you put your stuff where everybody else did that didn't get their food stolen? You chose to like... That's
not the scenario. The scenario is everybody got their food stolen or most of it, or you're by yourself and all of your food got stolen. So this is a collective group challenge.
So I can't blame you. I can't blame you specifically.
Correct.
Darn it. Okay, that makes it really hard then.
It does.
I mean, whatever food you have left, you have to ration out and split it up. That'd be step one.
If you're days from the trailhead, like this is going to be hard. And people are going to have meltdowns. They're going to get hangry. Yep. All sorts of stuff. So I would encourage you to try to get food off of other backpackers.
You're gonna have to.
You have to figure out a way to beg, to mooch, to ask if they have extra, and most backpackers do. So I think that, maybe even go into their backpack when not looking. What do you think about that one?
I think you would do that, actually, if you got angry enough. But I think when people, initially, like when you're not hungry, you're like, no, I can't do that. Or maybe I could ask for a snack, or maybe I could do that. But when you're hungry and all you're thinking about is food, you're going to do it. Yeah. Because you need to.
Right.
So,
yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do what you got to do. Right. Okay, I got another one. Water. We had a scenario where you did a trip where people had to pack in their water. Mm-hmm. So there was no water source at all within the park. You had to bring your own water. Right. Did you do a drop, or was it like, no, we're going to carry it the whole way? Was that my understanding?
I always do a water drop when it's that case.
Okay, so you did a water drop, but one of the people that went with you did not bring it. And this is like not just grown people, adults, right? It was just like also including a lot of kids as well. So you're not...
but the person you're referring to is the grown adult that made the blender.
But they're responsible for... Like you're responsible for your water and your kids' water, right? So he's responsible for multiple people. Right. And it ended up having a situation where like you guys were... how far in were you? Like a day or so? And
a day's hike in.
A day's hike in. You get to the spot and he realizes, oh my gosh, I don't have enough water to continue on for all of my group, essentially.
So he didn't have enough water. You're right about that. The reason was because he didn't put them in good containers. Oh. I think he used the like Derek bladder method where you put water in a water bladder inside your pack, and however you put it in there is going to leak all over the place, and so that's what happened to him. And so by the time he got to camp, he's like, I've got enough for like tonight.
Yeah.
That's it.
So what do you do in that situation where like water is an essential? You can't go days. You can go days without food. You can't go days without water, right? So what do you do in that situation where you have a lot of, or you don't have enough of what you really need, so in sense of water? So that now affects everybody.
We actually did a whole episode on this scenario because it was a way more
in depth.
Like that's like the entry level scenario, but then it like spiraled horrifically out of control after that. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, well, okay, well, remind me, because I remember you telling me, like, what do you do in this situation? Well, he decided, like, I'm going to hike back to the car at midnight, but I'm not going to bring...
At midnight in a very difficult place. This is a canyon line. It's very difficult to navigate at night.
Without a map. You're like, take the map. He's like...
No. I tried to give him the map. He refused. He's like, I don't
Yeah,
want
I don't have
the map.
dementia. I don't have dementia. You were like, take the map. He's like, no, I got it. And I think when somebody says, I got it, only bad things are going to happen. So he goes back, and then he ends up not coming back for, it was like 10 hours?
Yeah, 12 hours.
Was it 12 hours?
Right.
He didn't come back. And you guys all now are behind on the trip, right?
Yeah.
And you're now sharing a bunch of water. Did he bring water back? He brought water back.
Yeah, he had water back, but at that point,
it was
we had gone through our water and hadn't covered any miles that day.
What a waste.
And so, yeah. So that was kind of a game over situation. I don't think this was life or death.
What if you were like 2 days in?
If he got lost going back, he put himself in that life or death situation. This kind of ties into my next scenario, actually, but getting to the core question, like, what do you do without water? I think it's similar to the food thing, right? Like, you gotta mooch the water off other people.
Yeah. What if you were like 2.5 days in, and then all of his stuff spilled and leaked or whatever, right? And then what do you do? It's kind of a gamble.
It is. Yeah, that's why you have the water cache, and that's why you got to be willing to ask. It's tough to ask people for help, especially strangers. You're like, can I have some of your water? Like,
to me, that would be harder to ask for water on a trip where there's no water.
Right.
When like food, okay, but like water.
You could ask for day. I mean, if you're within range of day hikers, some of those day hikers cover a lot of ground, and so you could ask.
That's true.
But
you're gonna, you're gonna have to.
Okay,
that'd be awkward.
The core issue that you're getting at here is somebody's putting their own kind of wants and desires above the groups, kind of their own, like, I know how to do it better than you, or I want to do this instead. So the person I'm thinking of at one point on a trip was like, hey, let's cut this hike short, take a shortcut by scaling a very dangerous off-trail pass. Well, no, I'm just going to kind of lump these together. So that was one decision. We actually avoided that decision, so that was fine. Another decision that he made was we were hiking up another pass. This was in Glacier National Park, and we were in grizzly country, and I had gathered everybody together at the beginning of the trip, and I said, look, we got 8 guys here. In Glacier National Park, if you travel in groups of 4, there's never been a grizzly attack. Never. So you can go fast and go slow, but you got to be in a group of 4. And so we're climbing up this pass, and this pass has like steaming piles of grizzly bear poop. I don't really know if it's grizzly, but I'm assuming it is. We're like stepping over it, and then he grabs another guy, and they take off to go to the top of the pass, which is like miles away still, and they abandon the group behind them, and as we're walking over bear poop. And so this is just kind of like a loose cannon guy. And so what do you do with a loose cannon who's constantly making these types of decisions, which is putting your group in jeopardy? How do you handle that, Derek?
I think you either have a little personal powwow with him when you get I think you start with that and be like, and then if it's like, I don't know, like how many times do you allow something like that to happen?
And how many powwows do you have before you're like, dude, enough?
I have like enough. I have like one serious powwow, because if it's like a serious issue, it's like you have the one powwow, and then it's like, I mean, how many times do you allow some kind of crazy loose cannon-y thing to happen before you're like, dude, I just don't feel safe with you coming on these trips anymore. Like, I just never know what you're going to do. You're not like being a team player. Some of these things that you're doing are extremely selfish and narcissistic, and you're only thinking about yourself. I think you just got to, right? I mean, like, what else do you really say? That's a hard conversation to have. But like, I think when you're talking about life and death, you really kind of need to like lay it down for somebody. It's not like, oh, you're being annoying, or, oh, you bring music on the trip, or, oh, you tell bad jokes like Carl. Like, you can deal with all that. But if it's like life and death, and you're not like endangering your group, because I think you just got to lay it down. I don't know.
This person is very common out there, by the way. I don't know that I think the reason why we've had so many of these circumstances because I didn't sort of like lay down the law. And so I had these little powwows or these conversations. Yeah. Those happened.
You get some of these personalities on these trips, and it's like, this guy was kind of a new guy. Is it like, I'm going to try extra hard to fit in? So I'm just going to, I don't know, like act differently or make a bigger show of things? Or is it maybe like, I just get so excited because it's finally like I get away from my maybe life back at home, and this is such a great like getaway, and like I'm just so amped and crazy about being out here that I'm just going to do some crazy stuff because I'm so excited. Like It's, it's like you just jam a bunch of sugar in a kid and like, what's going to happen? You don't really know. But it's kind of like that.
I mean, I can behave that way too. I get pretty excited when I'm like, I've got less responsibility for a few days.
Yeah, you'll but your idea of excitement's like, I'm going to stay up an extra hour and play Uno. It's not like, oh, I'm going to go jump in a river near a ledge or something. You know what I mean? I'll play bocce ball one extra round, guys. I mean, that's what you'll do.
I'm not messing around. I don't mess around.
You bring that creme brulee for dessert. Watch out. Carl's coming for you. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna reprimand people more.
Your biggest adventure was probably going poop and not telling everybody you were going poop. That's probably it right there.
And having you follow me? Yes, that's correct.
You were gambling right there.
I was gambling a bit. So all that to say that, I think that in the moment, if you're with a group and you got kind of that loose cannon person, you have to be stronger leaders than Derek and I, and you have to, basically say like, hey, let's reevaluate what we're doing right here. You can say it nicely, or if that's not working, you say like, you know what, that's enough out of you.
I wish we had like a little bit more of that personality, like, you know what I mean? Because you want to like have everybody have a good time and enjoy each other, but then like, it's hard to be like, dude, this is not cool, dude. Like what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's and people putting you in that spot where you have to do that is so uncomfortable. So,
for sure. So at this point, I think I'm old enough where I'm happy to do that. But yeah. Anyway. All right. Okay. That was my last one. What's your last one?
I think I combined it with the other one, so I'm done. That's it.
Okay. So we got 7. I'm gonna throw one more out there. This one is like sort of relates to you, but
me? Sort of me.
Sort of does.
Like I put you in a life and death situation.
So we talked about sort of. So we talked about how people forget a piece of gear, or you mentioned like somebody forgets or like intentionally doesn't bring their food, right? What if somebody's like addressing the gear list and then intentionally is like, this item is on the gear list, I don't think I need that, and then doesn't bring it. In this case, I'm talking about the waterproof jacket, which is, I think it's like piece of gear number 5 that you got to really pay attention to in a group setting. Anyway, and then of course a downpour happens and they are at risk of hypothermia because they're soaked. So you did that number of times and got away with it until one year you did get soaked, but it was kind of this warm rain. So I don't think you were at risk of hypothermia. That's why I say sort of.
I was not. No, that was not a risk of life or death. No.
But somebody else did this, and they were about to abandon the trip because they were suffering.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah. And did they have rain gear? They had no rain gear.
They had a
poncho?
Water resistant jacket, which just absorbed
it.
The
didn't
water.
really, it lasted like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were going to like quit the trip, but I'm like, dude, you're over half.
But we were miles from a trailhead, so that wasn't a realistic
But I'm like,
solution.
you were like over halfway.
So somebody said, okay, however it plays out, at some point, somebody's going to be super cold. It could even be in the summertime. They're suffering from hypothermia. What do you do in that situation, Derek?
Skin to skin, bro. You go skin to skin. Get in that sleeping bag, and we're just going to spoon. I mean, you got to heat up, right? Whatever you got to do to heat up.
So midday, you're setting up the tent, getting the sleeping bags out. Is that how you're going to do it?
If you're shivering hypothermia,
yeah,
I'm going to do what I got to do. Dude. I
Okay.
think
I like that.
When I see that you're seriously in like misery, I'm going to do that. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Yeah, it's awkward maybe a little bit, but like somebody's about to like go on. I mean, you're going to have a way bigger problem if you don't suck it up and like warm somebody up.
Yeah.
Right?
One thing I'll add to that is I'll also typically make a hot drink for them, even if it's just boiling some water. So
I think that's a great start. Yeah.
Yeah. But, if you have multiple people, one person can set the tent, well, if somebody's boiling the water.
I mean, I could say when we were in Banff, my hands had never been colder, I think, than that trip.
You're saying you had hypothermic hands.
Hypothermic hands. There was another trip where they were very, very cold. And I was like, I need to start bringing some gloves on these trips because this is miserable. Because I could barely like take stuff out of my pack and like, unzip.
Like you're fumbling, like you're losing function.
Yeah, I'm losing function. And it was very debilitating. And then it's like, it's taking me longer to get anything done to get warmer because my hands are so cold.
Yeah.
So we had sleet. It was sleet everywhere. So it was miserable. So yeah, I think hypothermic hands, that's a real thing.
Next time, that's
a problem.
Say the word, I'll make a hot drink for you.
Thanks. Let me just put my hands up the back of your shirt and just like, it'll be cold for you, but warm for me.
That's fine.
You know what I mean?
That's fine.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go. We had 8 life or death situations-ish that you will encounter, especially the one where somebody is fasting. That's probably the most realistic one, right?
Mock as you will, Cloud Boy. Mock as you will.
All right.
All right. We have death trivia coming up after this. Blah.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
All right, we got death trivia. Can Carl have success with this? I have 4 questions. I was only going to do 3, but I might.
We always do 3 questions. Why do you have 4?
You've done 4 before. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like season 1.
No, like last year you did 4.
Okay.
And then I was like, why are you doing 4? What are we doing? Okay, all right. I think I have. I'll just cut one of these out. I wasn't sure which one I want to do the 4th, but I'm gonna start with this one. Approximately how many people die each day worldwide? We're gonna start strong. Is it?
Okay.
Is it
single digits?
1? Is it 1? No. Is it A, 850,000 people? This is worldwide.
850,000? Oh my god!
Worldwide, dude. Is it B, 150,000 worldwide? Is it C, 1.2 million worldwide? Or is it D, 550,000 worldwide?
Okay, so what would we? Yeah, so I guess what is? I don't even know what a common death rate is for a country.
Well, they all vary, Carl.
But if there's 8 billion people in the world, then
there's like 196 countries or so, if I remember correctly. It varies.
Yeah. So what was the highest number?
You have 1.2 million.
I'll go with that one.
Incorrect. It was actually the lowest. It was 150,000. So okay. maybe that number's
silly me for not knowing that. My mistake.
You know what? This is how I felt last episode with your trivia. I'm like, what are you talking about?
You've passed all the trivias for months.
Because I figure out I'm just smarter than you. I get it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But it is what
and
it is.
Humble. And humble.
Facts are facts. Okay. Just kidding. What? Let me think. Let me do. Oh, this is a fun one. Okay. What can continue to happen to a dead body up to 6 hours after death? Is it? You should know this one.
This is Derek. He's putting the fun in funeral.
Here we go. Are you ready?
Okay.
What can continue to happen 6 hours after a body dies? It can still make vocal noises.
Okay.
The muscles will still spasm. You can still urinate and defecate. Or you can still drool. Which can still happen.
Up to 6 hours.
6 hours.
Okay.
Shocking. You'll be shocked by this one.
Well, I know that the body can still move, and I think a lot of these things can happen. I just don't know if they can happen for 6 hours.
That's true.
I'll do the urinate and defecate one. That's your favorite answer.
That is incorrect. I thought you'd get this one. It was muscle spasms.
Yeah, I know that happens. I know that, but so does the urinate and defecate. I just don't know the number of hours.
Maybe you got to research things a little bit more. All right. Okay. I'm going to go with this. I have the 3rd question, and then the 4th one's kind of like a fun one.
I've already failed, so just whatever you want to do.
Yeah, you have already. How many bodies are on Mount Everest? The top. Is it?
How would I know this? How would anybody know this off the top of their head?
I'm giving you multiple choice like you gave me. This is the same type of question you gave me. I know, it's annoying, right? Exactly. Is it A, 350 bodies are about? Is it 100? Is it 200? Or is it over 500?
I was thinking it was like 10. There's that many?
Dude, this is from
Everest?
How long have people been hiking that mountain? Like 70 years? 80 years? I don't know.
Yeah, but you figure at some point people are going to, bring him down. Like I would never hike that mountain for this very reason. I think it's highly inappropriate to be stepping over dead bodies to climb a mountain.
I'm going to explain I'll explain more after you answer. But
Okay. So it was 500 or more.
it was over 500.
I'll go over 500.
That is incorrect. It's about 200 bodies are up there.
Okay.
And they are so well preserved. I thought this was really interesting. You asked if they don't really bring them down. It's too hard to bring a body down. So they're so well preserved that they use them as markers on the trail. And so when I'm researching this question, they have a picture of just a dead body. You don't see the face, but like this dead body in the snow, guy's in the gear, has his gear on. It's so cold and well preserved. They just like, oh, okay, I know where I am now. And they just walk. They know they're going the right way. Is that weird?
Yeah, that feels like highly inappropriate.
Bro, it's weird. I don't know. Okay, bonus question for fun. What heavy box-like structure, about 6 feet tall, you've seen these, they're all over the world, it kills about 13 people a year?
Oh.
You know this.
Vending machine.
Yes! Vending machine!
Yeah, that's like the Darwin Awards, right? Like
That was the Darwin Award. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
13 people a year.
Well,
Well, you were 0 for 3 trivia, dude.
what's funny is that it's become like well known that this happens, and it's still happening. So what does that say?
I think, do they need to build them different, or is it just you're dealing with people that get so angry and shake these machines so hard it doesn't really matter?
Rage.
Is that like the best revenge for the vending machine? Like you were beating me up, hitting me, and I fell on you and you're dead.
I don't know. Like,
you know what I mean?
You're trying to get revenge on the person that owns the vending machine, and I've seen people they put like Post-it notes like, hey, the vending machine stole my money. Here's my phone number or whatever.
Okay.
And I just imagined like the person who's in charge of vending machines just like grabbing the Post-it note, like crumpling it up and throwing it away. They're like,
First of all, the person who owns it is probably not going to the vending machine. They probably have somebody else doing that, but I don't think...
No, that's a industry is like you get enough
You get like company. Yeah.
Yeah, but... Yeah, I guess you could hire somebody to.
You have somebody to like maintain them, you know, or maybe you go maintain your own. I don't know, but I would probably crumple it.
They make a ton of money doing that, by the way.
To crumpling the Post-its.
Yeah, that's how they make money.
That's what I thought.
Post-its.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Okay.
Good. Okay, go.
Yeah.
We're on the right track.
You can't get analysis anywhere else, folks. Please subscribe for Derek's analysis of words. Okay.
Oh, words. Amazing.
We got one tidbit, and I sent it over to you. We had a reaction to one of our Throwback Thursday episodes, how to have a showdown with these trail villains. So, yeah, this is from Phil from Kentucky, right?
Yeah, you go. You read.
You want me to share it?
Yeah.
Okay. So he was hiking Havasu Falls, and he's talking about how he had to like leave at night, and the trail was hard to follow. And so they used poop to follow the trail out. And we talked about people like leaving stuff on the trail or leaving junk or whatever. And so he said the poop was like Appalachian Trail white blazes. So he also suggested how to handle the mountain biker trail villains, which is to insert your hiking poles into their spokes.
Yikes.
That's a little too aggressive
I could
for us,
see you
but
maybe
that's
doing
kinda
that back
funny.
in Colorado for sure. But
the mountain bikers I encounter, I'm typically on a trail where I'm not usually hiking with poles. So I guess you throw a stick in there, but that's not very nice. And so... we had fun with that episode. A lot of fun with that one. But we wouldn't really do that, of course. But we enjoyed Phil's creative ideas and the fact that he was saved navigationally by poop. He was in a life and death situation, and poop saved him.
Never underestimate poop. Never.
Right.
That's great. That's a good tip.
On that note, that's all I got.
That's all I got. Guys, thanks again for checking us out. Thanks for staying with us and listening. Check us out on all the social media handles at Backpacking and Blisters Podcast. And until next time, guys, if you have hypothermia or getting hypothermia, do what Carl does. Just cover himself in hot poop and roll around on the ground. You're going to be fine.
I want to fly around the world.
Yeah, here's a life and death scenario. We were talking about who's smarter, who's not. I'm just gonna let you decide. Okay, we were playing. It was one of those nights where Carl was getting wild. He's like, "I'm gonna stay up. I want to play Go Fish with you." I was like, "All right, we'll play Go Fish." He didn't really understand the rules of the game, so I'm saying, like, "Do you have this? Do you have that?" I said, "Go fish," and he's like, "Stop telling me go fish." And so finally, he's like, "All right, I'll go fish." And he jumped in the lake, but the lake was connected to a waterfall. Luckily, I had a stick nearby, and he's still here today.